Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Adrienne Gilliard here with Sandra Bazan, and we are from the ELC's Inclusion Team, bringing you Behavior Bites Tidbits. So our tidbit topic for today is part two of using reinforcers to minimize challenging behaviors that we talked about last time. And if you remember from our last tidbit, the purpose of reinforcers is to encourage students' use of positive classroom behaviors to increase the frequency of those behaviors. So specifically with behavioral momentum, it relates to reinforcers that we've chosen to use in our classrooms. So it refers to increasing motivation and giving the children in your classrooms opportunities to be successful. And these opportunities provide a series of quick and easy compliance tasks before presenting more challenging tasks. So essentially, it means to build up momentum to what you really want the child to do by giving them easy tasks or demands that they are highly likely to do first before presenting them with the more difficult tasks. So Sandy, let's shed some more light on behavioral momentum, please.
Sure. So when you think about behavioral momentum, I kind of like everybody to think about those biteable chunks, right? When you have like those big learning projects and you as an adult, you need to kind of pace yourself and you need to like do an outline, and then you need to, this is part one and part two. Well, that's pretty much how I want people to think of behavioral momentum, right?
Okay.
So when you're talking about students and you're talking about maladaptive behaviors, your biggest tool is jumping on the success of that child. So for what am I trying to say to that? So let's just say, you have Johnny and he has really hard time complying, but you get him to come on over and sit at your table. He complied. So that right there is an opportunity for success, for you to demonstrate, I'm so excited, I'm happy, that was a green choice. That was, you followed my directions, all the things, right? And you're enthusiastic and you're great. And so behavioral momentum is now building on the fact that he was successful complying with that very simple request and building on that. So if you think of, getting a child to do something that that they're going to be successful in doing, for example, the child loves to help you. He's a child that, is a leader in the classroom, but you also know what that means, right? The leaders in the classroom tend to be the busybodies, tend to tell everybody else what to do, tend to not like to do what they're telling everybody else to do.
And the other students feed off of that.
Absolutely, right? So that's the other kind of momentum we're talking about. So I'm going to choose this little boy, and I'm going to say, I know for a fact that he loves to help me, pass out the crayons or the pencils or whatever it is, be my helper. And so I am going to make a demand or a directive. Hey, Tommy, can you come here? Will you help me please hand out the pencils? And because I know that he loves to do that, I know the compliance rate is going to be really high. I am then going to celebrate the fact, and it can be something, we talked about the different types of reinforcers last time we were here, right? So it could be something as easy as a whisper in the ear, a quick wink, a thumbs up, or I'm really proud of you. Thank you so much. I don't know what I would do without you. You're my best helper in the whole wide world. Well, that kind of a thing. And so because Johnny, I can't remember what I just named him, but because he's complied with the, will you help me pass out these crayons? The likelihood that he is going to comply with, okay, it's time for you to come write your name, is higher, because he's already demonstrated success in being able to comply with a directive. So my suggestion as always is, you're going to start with the things that they like to do, and you're going to build on that, right? So if you're thinking about activities, it would look something like highly preferred activity, not so highly preferred activity, highly preferred activity, highly preferred activity, not so highly preferred activity. So they understand that, okay, there's some stuff in there that I'm not really digging, but I'm gonna
get to what I really want to do.
right. I'm gonna get to what I really want to do. So when you think about behavioral momentum, you can think about it in, building on a child's success as far as behaviorally, but also if you have that in mind, you can also apply that to the environment, your schedule, the flow of your classroom, the what goes first as far as centers go. You know what I mean? You can also use these highly interesting, like these highly motivating centers and activities as part of reinforcement. So you can do a first then, like, first, I know you don't like it. First, help me clean up. Then you get to help me pass out the pencils, right? And so that was hard for them to do because the cleaning up is hard. So remember, we said hard, easy, easy. So hard is gonna be help me clean up. Easy is going to be help me pull out the pencils, and then give them another easy something to do so that they understand I can do this, I got this. And so you're building on, encouraging, you're building up a student rather than always saying all the negative, all the no's, all the this is not what I want you to do. And so think about it, when you go to work, right? Do you perform better when your boss is yelling at you about all the things that you missed? Or are you likely to perform better if somebody is pouring into you?
Right, if you're being poured into.
Okay, that's what we're trying to say about behavioral momentum. So provide those opportunities for your students to be highly successful. Give them those directives, give them those opportunities for them to show out how much they've grown, how compliant they can be. And that again goes all the way back to developing those relationships. I'm not going to know what my students can do unless I've built those relationships. And I know for a fact that Sally likes to do this and Tommy likes to do that. And, Mikey over there will do anything to, you understand what I mean? And so, exactly. And that's what we mean by behavioral momentum.
Okay. And so it sounds like you can't use behavioral momentum all the time, but it is a really good intervention for easing those transitions, the unexpected requests that you have, and like you said, behaviors that, or when the learner routinely tries to escape, like moving through centers. If it's a center that they don't necessarily care for,
right?
It's a good intervention for that.
Absolutely, because again, you can provide a visual, and that way the child can have a visual of like, I don't really like this center, but the next two centers are my favorite. You can see where it'd be like, all right, so I'll write my name here. Fine. Okay, great. But then I get to go to housekeeping, and then I get to go to blocks. Right. And so it has to do with writing that, that train of success. And it goes back to that. It really does. These children really do want to please you. They really do want to do what's right. And if you offer that, that praise, that smile on your face, that give me a hug, I'm so proud of you, and it's genuine, you are going to be able to build on that behavioral momentum. And you will see more and more opportunities. And just because you see more and more opportunities doesn't mean to take your pedal off of the praise. We need to keep, especially those children, we need to just keep motivating and like I said before, building up.
Yeah. And you know what, and it's less jarring, it seems, that whole intervention. But yeah, that's great.
So that's it. That's behavioral momentum in a nutshell. In a nutshell, and how you can use the idea of it to help you with your flow of the classroom.
Got it.
So if you know that a child is really successful in one center or doing one activity, build on the skills, build on the skills that they have, and continue on. So if a child can share once, but has trouble with that exchange multiple times, well, then start with the one exchange and then build up.
And build up to it.
So yeah, you can't expect an automatic kind of pro-social behavior if the child is literally struggling with it, right? So it's always about building the foundation, providing those foundational skills, and then rolling with the successes and riding those waves.
Okay. Well, thank you, Sandy.
Oh, well.
And if you are still experiencing challenging behaviors with your children in the classroom and you would like an observation, you can always reach out to Debbie Kay on our warm line where the number is 954-295-0672. If you found this video and other videos of ours helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.